Kiss me. I'm Irish.
Yours truly, Brevin Thompson, is back, and happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Remember 2 years ago when I reviewed Leprechaun for St. Patrick's Day? Well, I figure, why not talk about Leprechaun 2? Which, in my opinion, is probably worse. Leprechaun 2 is another hilarious, atrocious excuse for a horror film. Gives us characters that we cannot give a shit about. Has some of the most wooden, bland acting I have seen in a 90s horror film. And for me, the Leprechaun doesn't really work as a horror villain per se. I mean, as a kid, I thought the concept of a leprechaun being a horror villain being slightly okay, but as an adult, I'm like, am I supposed to take this guy as a serious horror villain? But he's mostly played as a joke. And I don't know if they were trying to like copy what Universal was doing with Chucky, because mostly in the early 90s, he was mostly like played as a joke, especially when it came to Child's Play 3. If you watched Child's Play 3, it was mostly unintentionally a comedy in some ways, and this film in particular is too, so yeah. Yeah. So the film opens with a flashback, and we see the leprechaun, who in the flashback is said to be 1,000 years old on St. Patrick's Day. While in the first movie, he told the cop who pulled him over that he's 600 years old. So that's a major continuity error, obviously. And that's a thing that goes on in the rest of the series. And this is not the only horror franchise that has major continuity issues. I mean, hell, if you watch the Halloween films, those have serious continuity issues. But I think when it comes to horror franchises with serious continuity issues, I would say Leprechaun, it probably holds the number one spot, but that's my personal opinion, honestly. So, in the flashback, like I said, the leprechaun is 1,000 years old, and every 1,000 years, that's when he can claim his bride. And just when he's about to claim his bride, who turns out to be his slave's daughter, so he has to make his chosen bride sneeze 3 times, and without anybody saying, "God bless you," then she would be his bride forever. But his slave just tells his daughter, "God bless you," because the bride that he chosen was his slave's daughter. So he ends up killing his slave and ends up like stalking his slave's daughter's bloodline for the next 1,000 years, so he can like have like his daughter's future ancestor be his future bride in the next 1,000 years. So we then cut to the present day, which is the mid-90s. Now, when it comes to the characters in this film, the way the actors choose to portray these characters, like I mentioned before, they give the most wooden and bland performances that you would see in a 90s horror film. Just, oh my god. I honestly feel sorry for them. I really, really do. I'm just like, oh my god. Given the material they were given to work with, at least try to give a shit. But it's almost like they knew that the film that they were making was going to be shit anyway, so they were just trying to work with what they were given. But it's clearly just a paycheck for everybody involved. That's all I can say about this film. I mean, it's just, it was made, people got paid, people paid their bills, which is a good thing. So when the Leprechaun finally shows up, he causes like a little bit of shit. I mean, he like rips a gold tooth out of a homeless guy, and when he's trying to locate his bride, he like rips off a guy's finger just to get his gold ring, and just when I couldn't get enough of his shitty one-liners from the first film, they brought it back again for the sequel.
Finger licking good.
Finger licking good. Really? So the Leprechaun finds his chosen bride, and we get this one scene where he like uses an illusion to like trick this one guy into like trying to motorboat his bride's tits. I mean, he sees like an illusion of her, while in fact he's about to like have his like face completely fucked up by a lawnmower, and we don't see it because budget, and all we see is just, we see a silhouette and then a blood like squirting all over the walls, and that's about it. That's about it for that kill, because budget. I think that's what one of the few issues with this movie is budget constraints, really. So the Leprechaun kidnaps the girl who he chosen as his bride, and her boyfriend fails to stop him, and he finds out that his weakness is wrought iron. In this film, his weakness is wrought iron, while in the first film, his weakness and one of the thing that could kill him was a four-leaf clover, and I think they pretty much forgot about that for this film, so I think they switched his weakness to wrought iron. I guess the writers were making up shit as they went along, honestly. When the Leprechaun has the girl restrained in like this magical coat or something, I don't know, but when he like goes over his pot of gold, like he's like giving her a metaphorical golden shower. And that's what I'm gonna go with jokes in this video at this point. He realizes that one of his golden coins is missing because it was knocked over earlier in one scene when he was kidnapping the girl, and it's slide over to her boyfriend's hand. And that's when he notices that his gold coin is missing, and he's like so obsessed with trying to get it back, because in the first film he was so obsessed with getting his gold back. So that's one of the few things that they brought back from the first film was him being obsessed with getting all of his gold back. The girl's boyfriend and his uncle tried to go through to stop the Leprechaun. They tried to trick him into getting drunk, and even one point later in the film, they even trap him in a safe that's made of wrought iron. And the uncle, who is a complete fucking idiot, locks the girl's boyfriend in a closet and tries to get the Leprechaun into granting him 3 wishes. The first one, wishing for his pot of gold, and it appears inside his stomach, which causes him to like groan in agonizing pain. His second wish is to let him out of the safe. Well, he has to open the safe because he can't like teleport out of there because it's made of wrought iron. So I get that in this film that wrought iron is supposed to be the Leprechaun's weakness in this film, but you couldn't have just appear out of the safe. But I guess not in this film. And his third wish is to get the pot of gold out of him. So the leprechaun obliges by cutting his fucking stomach open and getting the pot of gold out of there. And there's no blood on the pot of gold. Nothing. No guts. No blood. Nothing. Just squeaky clean. There's no blood on the pot of gold. Budget, like I said. And there's even a point where we see the leprechaun driving a fucking go-kart. They really had to go there. And of course, the rest of the film takes place inside the leprechaun's home. The girl's boyfriend, of course, rescues her because she's the damsel in distress. Kills the leprechaun with the wrought iron bar, and they just walk out of there. They kiss, live happily after. Blah blah blah. Who fucking cares? Because this movie was shit. And just everything about this film was a fail. The direction, acting, the script, the effects, just like, and even when they try to come up with creative kills, they're mostly held back because of the budget, and you can tell that this film was rushed. Just, this film is a fail in every way. I might have liked it when I was a kid. I mean, I watched it on cable at one point, but thankfully since then I have developed a brain, and there's not much I can say. This film is a piece of fucking shit, and Leprechaun 2, of course, gets an F. Phew. So, yeah, that's what I had to go through for my St. Patrick's Day special for this year. So, yeah. If y'all watched Leprechaun 2, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. And guys, thank you so much, as always, for watching. Looking forward to doing more videos really soon. And if you want my thoughts on old or new films, of course, you know where to find me.